What's up traders, welcome to live streaming from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. This is Forex Wizard, your trading coach. We will be doing a live trading session, live analysis and live discussion like we do every single day. Now today is a special, as you know, today's weekend, and in the weekend is the time when the market really gives us a clear direction. As you can see, most of the pairs, almost all the pairs, doing exactly according to the analysis. So this session is crucially important because there is a news coming up, to very high impact news coming up, and we'll be covering that news announcement in this session. And before I begin this important session, so once the news is released, make sure guys you stick till the end. If we find any trading opportunity, we'll jump on it. Now before I begin this important session, make sure you give a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So let's see, first of all, as usual, important pairs, including I will be looking at dollar yen first. As you can see, dollar yen after back-to-back two dojis, exactly according to the analysis. As you have seen yesterday when we made an analysis, dollar yen has formed this hanging man, and then with that hanging man formation, dollar yen started to break down. So we see that that's a clear breakdown, and because we are, you know, that a giant to euro dollar trade, we didn't open it, but we see that the price is doing exactly as it is. I'm sure that for those who are in that analysis, probably definitely you have seen that. Now dollar yen, what we see that in fact the price action is highly bearish. There is a strong bearish engulfer here, you can see, followed by back-to-back two smaller dojis, and then we have seen that dollar yen again started to drop. So this is a very nice looking price action on dollar yen. If you closely look at, you see that this instrument, in fact this is the previous support zone, which is turning resistance here, support here, turning resistance. Now with that resistance, we have seen that dollar yen has created and a nice looking head and shoulder, and then has broken down, guys. Very easy price action to understand. As I mentioned, once you grab everything how the market works, it becomes much easier. You see that when you see an important level, lower time frame head and shoulder, higher time frame, you might see something different. If you look at daily, you can see that first of all there is a long bearish engulfer followed by a doji. Now today we have seen that the price started to drop, so which is a very nice looking price action. What we see, the dollar yen currently, this is the last day of trading week. What I think that if you look at the weekly, you see that dollar yen has tested this level. Now what you could see, what I think that if this current candle is closing as a green candle like that, in the next week you might see after little retracement another wave of drop on dollar yen, because the time frame on the daily, we see that this is a bearish. If I look at the 4 hour also, it is a nice looking bearish price action. If you see this price action here, what we see that in fact this price, previous resistance here, support here, turning resistance, which is a nice looking amazing support, turning resistance with a pattern. So when you see, let's say, an important level where the price acted here in the past as support, has broken down and then has gone up, created head and shoulder or any kind of pattern, and then drop, which is in fact a very important price action that you can trade with. So with that in mind, what we see, that dollar yen giving us a potential strong bearish movement. And then we'll jump onto gold, but let me look at the chat, guys. Make sure you use the chat. Probably my voice a little bit of broken, guys. Hopefully that you can hear me properly, but anyway, hopefully it will fix over the weekend. The weather is changing, so things are getting changed anyway. So greeting to all, thank you very much. Watching from Malaysia, awesome. Yeah, hi there. No problems. Thank you very much. Grandson addicted to your channel. Thank you very much. I'm also addicted to you guys. Always appreciate your support and really great support from all of you. That's why you see that I don't miss any session, because I truly love, doing this live session, doing trading, talking to you guys. That's amazing experience. Yeah, absolutely. Look at it, Mila. Good morning, Nizam. Thank you very much, Mila. Maldale, good morning, coach. Gold, some of us in chat selling gold 15 minutes. I don't recommend to sell gold, because that gold is long-term bullish market. So trading with the trend is always that I do. As you have seen, 2 days earlier we secured back-to-back to profitable trade on gold, which is bullish. Today also gold did exactly where we supposed to go, but I missed that trade, unfortunately. No problem, we will be on it in this live session. If we find any trade after the news announcement, we'll jump on a trade, definitely, no problems at all. So Pankaj sir, please check NZD CHF. No problems, we'll look at it. Pankimi, thanks Pankimi from Nigeria, thank you very much. Himanshu, dollar yen target price. Yeah, we'll look at it. Do you have an ongoing trade, coach? Yep, we do have ongoing trade. We'll discuss one by one all of them. Kingsley, so what's prediction concerning with coming up news? Look, the news prediction is sometimes very unpredictable, but I'll tell you how I trade news. We do have a specific strategy that we use to trade news. We'll look at it. I'll discuss this with you. In fact, what's your prediction? Okay, Rahel. Yep, absolutely. Good day, coach. How are you today? Please, oil and net gas. Yep, we'll look at it. No problems. Eurosdjpy. Yep, no problems. Angeli Israel from Nigeria. Yep, thank you very much. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back to gold again. Okay, now gold, you can see that it is strongly bullish. Now I do not recommend to sell gold. As you can see, first of all, there is a gap opening today when the market opens, and the price came to that very important gap level and then had a bounce. So the price currently has enough liquidity for pushing to the upside. If you look at the weekly perspective, in fact, we see that gold currently has again broken out of the weekly resistance level. Now highly likely that gold will continue to rise. Now if I look at the daily, what we see that gold from this support started to rise. Now this is highly bullish market. Now we even might see a blowout to the upside, and then before weekly close we might see again retreating back. So if I look at overall picture monthly, you can see that we have seen there is a monthly resistance broken, and from that monthly resistance, what we have seen that gold has returned back, okay, to a certain level, and then we have seen that gold in fact again started to rise. So what we could potentially see that gold, I think that it might break the high again, because what we have seen previously, gold is reached this resistance, created an overextended market, and then has come back again, gain momentum. Now we could potentially see that gold is going up. Now looking at what we see that on the weekly perspective, if you look at my weekly forex forecast, in fact this is what exactly expected. Weekly forex forecast, as I mentioned, that gold is likely to break the high and then may come back down here to test the support and then could continue to rise. Did exactly as it is now. Let's look at the daily perspective. We see that a very long bullish market now. Why I'm expecting this market to blow out and to create a higher high? The reason is it's a long-term bull market, right? So when you see daily price action, we see that from here, this is the daily impulse and then correction. Okay, so very predictable and nice looking price action. If we place our Fibonacci on the daily time frame, we see that this is the Fibonacci level. Starting from here, we see that this is the exactly support on Fibonacci, 61.8% Fibonacci level. Okay, this is the daily support, and what I see that exactly Fibonacci level, order block and created a series of higher low, broken to the upside. Now previous day we have seen this doji has been formed. This is the doji, and with this doji formation, what we have seen that in fact the price opened with a gap liquidity, even didn't create any wick at the bottom. Instead it's started to push up. Now because it's a long-term bull market, okay, so when you see a bull market impulse correction, we can expect impulse. So with that in mind, that is why I'm expecting today to gold to break 1810 and then either to retreat back, or maybe from that level we could see some kind of return back, or we might see even has broken out and closed above from 1810 level that I'm expecting. So on the 4 hour, this is the current candle, as you can see. Now if during the news, let me tell you in what situation we will be jump on a gold trade even in this live session, guys. Make sure you stick till the end, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Forex Factory, what it came here. Okay, so Forex Factory, going to the market calendar. Now what we see that on the calendar today 12:30 a.m. USD news is coming, core PPI and also PPI, both as 12:30, which is not far from, and 2 a.m. is preliminary consumer sentiment. So with that in mind, what we could see, gold, as you can see, during that news, if in case let's say gold has come back here, okay, close as a doji or a shooting star like this, all right, if gold does this, then from the bottom of that shooting star we will be buying gold, okay, with a tight stop loss below this low, take profit where the nearest high will be. So this is the condition that I will be trading gold in this live session. So let's see how the market opens. But in case, let's say if this one closing as a full body green, a strong bullish engulfer, then better to stay a little bit quiet. The reason is, in that case we'll see that for the day the price has already moved, and because there is a new that a weekend coming, we may see or may not see further rise. But for me, I'll be trading in that way. So let's see, it may happen due to news, or even before news or during the news. If we see the price has come back here, we might open buy position on gold. And I will not say to sell, but everyone has a different strategy. Maybe you have a strategy on 1 minute chart when the price is coming for a retracement on the higher time frame. Maybe you can sell on the lower time frame. It's up to you what strategy you're using. But for me, I do need a clear bullish price action. So let me look at the chart, guys. Kingsley, thank you very much. That's awesome. So what's your prediction concerning the coming PPI news? So the way the price action is forming, it's bullish. But let me tell you how I trade news. Okay, see, you have seen early today the analysis on gold. So why did I did this analysis that way is, if you look at the news, you see that PPI news is coming at 12:30 a.m. okay, so with that 12:30 a.m. PPI news, normally in my long observation, what I have seen, look, as a retail trader, we cannot predict a market, like a news, not market, news early enough, because it's an insider news and it's not possible for us to grasp before the news release. It's even if someone knows, it's an offense. So in that case, how I trade news or fundamental, how I include fundamental in my trading or in my strategy. Now in long observation, what I have seen that the price behave in a certain way before the news been released, maybe from 24 to 48 hours earlier, and even after, just after the news release, the price behave in a certain way. Let me give you an example. For example, you see that there's a gap opening here, and this candle is the previous session of the news announcement. We have seen that the price has formed, has come back here, and also you see that there is a shooting star in this bullish market. Also from this level has formed this price action. Now what we have seen, that what I have seen over long observation, the price behave in a certain way when there is a news, and it's predictable, very high predictable, and that is one of my best trading strategy that I use from that prediction. This is basically a roadmap that normally, what I can say, big boys use this strategy. Now big boys, they use this kind of time frame, like to place the order. So when we look at this price action, then we understand how the big boys is doing for that news announcement, and then we place trade, which in fact includes the fundamental. And there's a strategy that we have that in fact explain in our Forex Trading Wizard Academy. You can learn that strategy to trade with us if you want to have that news and price action trading strategy. Apart from this, let me know in the chat how you trade news. Do you trade during the news announcement, or just wait for the news announcement? I want to know how you trade news. Hi coach, waiting from Philippines, thank you very much. If UJ going down, for sure, yeah, no problems. Shouldn't look at it. I'm from Ghana. I love you, chat. Thanks, thank you very much. Hello coach, pleasant morning to you. How to get access and information to the what? John, yeah, John, you can use the Telegram from the chat. You can send you Telegram detail. I will send all the details to you. Kakula, thank you very much. Good day, coach. High news. What gold sell? No, I don't think gold sell. Looks like that bullish. About Euro GBP. Okay, so Euro GBP looks like that started to drop. We open a position with around 7 pip, which just has came back down. So what I see that Euro GBP now has, I think favor Shipalini was waiting for a bearish setup. Looks like that Euro GBP has come to the zone where we might see a drastic drop and then rise. Looks like that Euro GBP has started to push down. If we look at the weekly, we see that very strong rejection. Let's see what happened. Looks like that for the time being, after creating multiple liquidity gap, it started to drop. So I was expecting Euro GBP to rise from here as there is a weakless candle, but it didn't. It started to drop to the downside, which happens in trading. That's fine. That's how trading is. So I think now, because there is no significant support zone, Euro GBP might drop further. Okay, so if I look at the daily, this is daily, weekly, because it started to reject it now, we might see even coming back to the weekly level of support. If I look at the daily, yeah, we might see some further drop later today. On the intraday perspective, we see that the price started to drop aggressively, creating series of lower high. So yeah, I think that at least now coming back to this support, Euro GBP for the time being. So also, can you please give your opinion on dollar yen? Yeah, absolutely, we'll look at dollar yen. So before we go to the dollar yen, I want to look at Aussie yen. And Aussie yen, we have opened a sell position on Aussie yen. Now let me explain why I have opened sell position, then I'll explain what's the reason for what could happen. So basically Aussie yen, dollar yen, almost similar kind of pattern, but let me tell you what I'm expecting on Aussie yen. Now Aussie yen, as you can see, this is the monthly chart, which is in fact strongly bearish, with that bearish engulfer on the monthly. What we have seen that Aussie yen from this monthly resistance has started to drop. Okay, now Aussie yen, if you closely look at, this is a long-term bull market, but over time we have seen a very aggressive consolidation, very long-term consolidation happen on Aussie yen. As you can see, this is the consolidation on Aussie yen, and with that consolidation, what we have seen that Aussie yen started to drop. Now this is the monthly price action. Now with that monthly price action, if you look at the weekly, what we see that on the weekly perspective, the price just tested this previous support zone here, okay, which is turning resistance. Now what I think that, because the price, you see that if you look at this weekly chart, you see a very visible head and shoulder. Okay, this is the right shoulder, this is the head, and this is the left shoulder. So very visible head and shoulder. Now with that head and shoulder, what we have seen that Aussie yen has broken down. Now this is the previous support zone, which is turning resistance on Aussie yen. And looking at the daily, what we see that on the daily perspective, this is a nice looking bearish price action. I think that Aussie yen may drop a lot. If we could hold that trade. What I think that Aussie yen, as you can see, this is the daily chart, and this trade, I think we'll keep running it until even next week, because it might give us a good profit on it. But I think that Aussie yen may continue to drop a lot, high probability, because if you closely look at, you see that this is a long-term resistance here, okay, creating series of lower high along this resistance, and we have seen an impulse here followed by this correction. Now with that correction, what we have seen, the price has grabbed liquidity on the lower time frame and then creating a bearish candle. Now if I look at intraday perspective, now what I'm expecting on Aussie yen, you see that there is a, first of all, this is the 4-hour time frame, there's a drop, and then there is a pattern here has been formed on Aussie yen. Okay, this is a bearish pattern, but why it's so confidently bearish now is because if you closely look at this leg on Aussie yen, is in fact a liquidity grab. So there is a strong drop here, and then there's a triangle. With the triangle, the price has gone up. So for me, this leg to the upside, you see this is the leg, and forming this triangle here has gone up okay, which is this is the level, which is a liquidity gap. It's a false breakout to the upside. Now if you closely look at, you see that this is the support here on Aussie Yen, support here, okay. Now with that support, this is a penetration of the support to the upside. So this is in fact a good amount of liquidity gap, and because of that, what I think that we might see a massive drop on this one. And what I think that it is creating a head and shoulder here, you can see. So with that head and shoulder creation, we should see slowly a drop on Aussie Yen today, including next week. So if we look at the weekly, we see the same thing. The price tested this high, and then we are seeing that the price now slowly rejecting. What I think that even today we could see further drop on Aussie Yen. Okay, so let me look at the chat, guys. Okay, very good, thank you very much. Yeah, Stray, thank you for your opinion. Not trade during, I don't recommend to trade during the news. In fact, even I only if I see a very high area value. It depends, like when you are experienced looking at news, you know, multiple times, then you'll in fact understand how it feels like to trade with news. Because when you trade with news, it's fully unpredictable. But if you get experience, you'll see that news also what I can say, behave in a certain way. For example, if you see a very important level, you see that when the price coming here, you will have a bounce. But during the news, sometimes it becomes very, very unpredictable. So that is why I always wait for the news to settle. But after the news, normally you will find a good number of volume in the market, because during the news a lot of trade closed, and after news that volume come back to the market. That really gives good opportunity. So Aussie dollar, looking at what we see, that Aussie dollar also bullish. Let me look at daily chart on Aussie dollar. We see that this is also bullish market. Before going to Aussie dollar, let me, what does oil look like this morning, coach? I'll look at it. Hi coach, good evening, thank you very much. Good day coach, kindly look at EuroCAD. Yeah, I'll look at it. Will you continue to trade this month? Yeah, why not? Why not? As long as there is volume in the market, we'll be continuing trading this month. What about Usdjpy? Yeah, we'll look at it. So let me look at now little bit of dollar yen as well. Now as you can see, dollar yen and Aussie yen moving almost in a similar pattern. Now dollar yen, if you look at the weekly perspective, this is in fact a very, very important level from this previous support, previous resistance, which is turning support on dollar yen. What we see that the price, this is the resistance here, okay, which is turning support here. And what we see that the price created a lower high with that, and then we could see a drop. Now if we look at the dollar yen, let's look at overall picture monthly. What we have seen, that monthly perspective, dollar yen has a strong bearish candle, followed by, we see that there is another monthly bearish candle is being formed. What we could potentially see that dollar yen is coming back down. Looking at the weekly, we see this is the weekly price action, where there is a support here on the weekly, and also it's acting here as a resistance. And I think that dollar yen already tested this support as resistance, and we could see further rejection to the downside on dollar yen. If you look at the daily, this is what exactly I mentioned also. You can see that, and the price in fact according to our planning is moving in the direction. So we see that dollar yen, this is the support here, which is turning resistance here, and on the daily we have seen primarily a penetration to the upside, and from that penetration we see that dollar yen now coming back down. So this is the daily candle. As you can see, a long bearish engulfer followed by a dodgy continuation pattern. Okay, now this price action on the daily is exactly satisfying our sniper entry trading strategy. And the next one is, you can see a bearish engulfer followed by a doji in an important level, which is a continuation pattern, and we see that the price started to drop. Now if I look at the intraday perspective, we see dollar yen price action is very nicely predictable from this previous support zone here, which is turning resistance here. Dollar yen started to drop. Okay. So what you could see that this is the head and shoulder on dollar yen on the local time frame. After back-to-back two dodges, we have seen that dollar yen has broken down. Now this price, what I think that because the news is coming, dollar getting weaker, I think that dollar yen will continue to drop. Okay, now with that dollar yen drop, we see that Aussie yen also doing the same thing, and which is coming back to our profit zone now. I think that you see this is the candle. We might see a couple of impulse. Let me look at the 1 hour chart. Okay, on the 1 hour we see that Aussie yen created a nice looking middleman on the 1 hour chart, perfect middleman, and now dropping. You see that middleman, and at the same time reversal. Very nice looking price action, guys, you know that. So yeah, in fact it's a very nice looking price action, guys. Let me know how many of you are still not sure about the middleman, so that I know in fact how you will be doing. This is a textbook middleman that we define. Let me know in the chat section, guys, how many of you are not sure about the middleman, so that I can explain its role and how it works. Thank you, no problems. Sir, will gold touch 20 MA before impulse from long term? Which time frame, Vivaya? Let me know, please. Euro dollar, yeah, Eurojpy, yeah, absolutely. Red lock code Eurojpy, yeah, we'll look at it. So basically what's happening is Eurojpy, we see that all the Euro pairs looking like that highly bearish. Eurojpy also has broken down. If I look at the daily, okay, yeah, same thing. You can see that Eurojpy, what we see that this is the daily chart. If I look at the weekly also, this we have seen that after the weekly doji here, a long bearish engulfer followed by significant retracement to the upside. Now Eurojpy, what we see that bouncing from a very important resistance level, guys. So if I look at the daily, we see that Eurojpy, this is the daily chart after this doji on the daily followed by this narrow green candle. What we see that now the price has gone up to this very important level, and then from this zone we have seen a strong rejection on Eurojpy. So with that rejection, what we can expect that on the intraday perspective, you see that this price action is in fact giving us potentially a breakout of this support. Now what I think the best place for opening for Eurojpy is, as it has broken this very important level of support on the lower time frame, is still not closed. The candle is still not closed, but we could see a break of this support. Now with that break of this support, what we can expect, the price to test this support as resistance, and from here we can expect Eurojpy to continue to drop. But what I think that we might see after the candle close a bit deeper retracement to the upside again. The reason is when a support broken, it needs to be tested as a resistance. In most cases it should be. So with that test, even on the daily, okay, what I would say that we might not see Eurojpy directly dropping, because you see that this zone here in fact is full void, and there is no, you see there is a long green candle and the price is breaking all this doji. So there will be some rejection from here again on Eurojpy on the lower time frame from this zone. And if I look at the 4-hour, we see the price on a support where also there is a previous resistance which is turning support here. Okay, so what we could see, Eurojpy, you can see this is the support here, support here, support here, support here. Okay, so all those support, we see that Eurojpy now penetrating this level, and from here we could see further rise up testing this level, and then we might see potential drop. But long-term picture, if we look at the daily, we see bearish. But I think the price already, you can see on the daily, has a strong drop, and we can expect now potential retracement to the upside on Eurojpy. Yeah, and then we can expect from there rejection to the downside. So let's look at other pairs. Aldel, thank you very much. Then Middleman, yeah, absolutely. Your NGD, I would like to explain the Middleman. Absolutely, no problems. Thank you very much. Me, sir, explain Middleman. Okay, very good. I see a good response, coach. I am from Dubai. Can I join immediately? Yeah, Rajib, please go to the website, link in the description area, and also there is a link at the top of the chat. You can visit the website and also join the academy. This is the best trading education platform you will ever find, and also learn our strategies, be part of the community. There's a lot of trading tool, including this incredible our trend following strategy indicator. I'm talking about daily time frame. Yeah, absolutely. For gold, will it touch 20 EMA? So which 20 EMA, Vivaya? My question is, it daily 20 EMA, 4-hour 20 EMA, or what time frame? Then I can explain Middleman. Yeah, okay, so let me explain Middleman. Probably you have hanging man, but Middleman is especially let me give you exact first theory, and then you'll see the example I will show you. Let's say firstly, individually a middleman is when you see comparatively a healthy body, could be red or green, which has a comparatively healthy wick and healthy body. So in ratio, you can say that the wick should be at least almost equal than a body, okay, or a bit smaller, no problem. But based on the role, then we can explain the middleman. So this is the shape of the middleman. But when you see, let's say, a bullish market like that, okay, now after that, we have you may have seen a consolidation or any kind of reversal, okay, let's say a reversal like that, or any kind of reversal, and then the price has broken down. Okay, breakout from this reversal with, let's say, a long red candle like that. Okay, this is a middleman. Okay, so this middleman is high probability when it breaks out from any kind of pattern with a false breakout, then I could say that this is a very important high probability trade setup. Now let me give you a couple of examples so that you can see on the higher time frame as well as on the lower time frame. First, going to the Eurusdjpy. Now we see that Eurusdjpy, this is the monthly. You might say, I'll not trade on monthly, then why should I? Because when you look at the monthly, you can find a lot of trade on the lower time frame. Now you can see that this is Eurusdjpy on the monthly perspective. This is what we're talking about, the middleman breaking out of the structure with a healthy body and long wick at the bottom, long wick at the top, and which is a very powerful middleman. Now if I look at lower time frame, let's say on the 4 hour, we can find a lot of them, but you need to find the right one in the right place. As I explained, this one, okay, breaking out of a structure, middleman, perfect middleman with a liquidity gap. This was what I was talking about, a structure here, okay, double top, and then has broken out of this double top with a middleman that has a false breakout to the top and is breaking out of this structure completely. Now in the same way, this one also a middleman, okay, it is a very strong rejection from the bottom, perfect continuation of trend. This one also middleman. So whenever you see this candle acted as a continuation pattern or created a false breakout from any kind of structure and then starting move in the direction of the trend, which is in fact a very powerful price action. So if I give you some more example in other pairs, let's say on gold, you will find a lot. So this one, is a middleman, okay. So you can see this is the structure on gold. This is first of all, there is a two middlemen. Look at this one, both of them I'm going to show you exactly so that you can identify next time. You see perfect middleman breaking out of this consolidation pattern completely, okay, that I discussed before. You need to see a pattern, either any kind of pattern, head and shoulder, any kind of pattern, and then breaking out with a middleman. And the same thing, if you repeat that chart, you will find that there is another pattern, and until we see breakout, we can't define it as a middleman. If you closely look at, we see that the price has broken out of the structure with a middleman. Now why I'm not defining this red one as a middleman, because this one still did not break out from the structure. This one has broken out completely from the structure. Amazing, thank you very much. So let me look at now news is coming. Let's see the news calendar again. We see that 12:30 a.m., which is only 14 minutes to go for the news. So let's review all the pairs, including just quickly before the news to see. So the news is USD. So let's fully look at the USD pairs and then we'll jump on it. We see that Aussie dollar, this price on Aussie dollar looking at, I say that very strong bullish price action. Now if during this news announcement, even in this live, if we see like the gold, as I mentioned, if we see Aussie dollar has come back, has broken this support on the lower time frame, we will open buy position. As you can see, it's a full body green candle. Even without coming here Aussie dollar, it's a very good pair for now bullish setup. Let's look at fully multi-time frame. If you look at the monthly, we see that this is in fact a bullish market on Aussie dollar. As you can see, monthly perspective, there is a long bullish candle. So this is where the monthly price action has opened and closed together. We see that with that bullish move, AUD USD has come back previously in this level of support, and from that support we have seen that in fact AUD USD has a bounce. Now looking at the weekly, if you closely look at it, you see that series of higher low has been created. So we see that the price has created a series of higher low, and what I think that from here AUD USD likely to go up. This is the weekly candle, which is highly bullish. Now at the same time, keep in mind guys that this is weekly candle, and it is also possible that AUD USD again close this one as a doji and then come back down again to fill that week and then to go up. So let's see how it does in the previous next session or this current candle. This is the daily price action on Aussie dollar, and we see that back-to-back 3 days bullish candle, so which is now facing this resistance. Now if I look at the intraday perspective on the 4-hour time frame, we see that the price currently this level. Okay, very strongly bullish. As you can see, there is a 20 EMA just crossed over. I'm expecting for a bigger move on Aussie dollar. So this is one with Aussie dollar. So let's shortlist them to see how it is doing with the news announcement. So looking at euro dollar, now a bit different with Aussie dollar and euro dollar. For euro dollar, look, this current candle on euro dollar, what I think, let's see how this candle is going to close, because it's weekend. Timing is really important. Very few traders consider timing when they are trading. Timing means like what time of the week or what time of the day or at what situation euro dollar is doing what. So what's happening is that euro dollar, as you can see, there is an impulse correction. Now what we are expecting for euro dollar, what I think that from here we might see another wave of drop. One probability, this is 4-hour time frame to this level, to this 20 EMA, and from here we could find a very good looking bullish setup on euro dollar. The reason I was thinking is because you can see the previous session. If I closely show you, you'll see that the price already created a liquidity gap here. How do you know? See, you see euro dollar, this trend line on the lower time frame on the 4-hour is this one. Okay, all right, so you see that the price penetrated that trend line, okay, to the upside. Now with that penetration, what we have seen that euro dollar has a rejection. Now with that rejection, now currently it is forming a doji. What I think that during this, because we will face a news, this candle will be a news candle. Now during this news, we might see a drop which might test this 20 MA, and from here we could see a rise. So let's see what happened. It will really depend on how this current news candle is doing. It will in fact change a lot of game during this news release. We see gold also giving a very strong bullish move. So let's see, we are waiting for 8 minutes for the news. So in the meantime, with that Aussie dollar is going pumping up because of the news, because of gold news, because of gold. So gold basically fully related to Aussie dollar. Now if I look at other USD pairs, let's before news release, let's look at all of them. Euro dollar. So you see that euro dollar is not that much stronger because euro looking like a little bit of weaker currency currently, and due to gold we see Australian dollar very strongly bullish. Gbpusd also looking very bullish. See that, very strongly bullish. We might see that Gbpjpy also might be getting bullish. So if I look at US30, this is the monthly on US30. Okay. Now, primarily we have seen after a big move on US30, a retracement. Now it is going up again. So let's look at weekly. Now weekly price action on US30, for me it's still bullish. The reason is, as you can see, US30 has come back to a very important liquidity zone, this support here. Okay. Now looking at the daily, we see that this is the support here, previous resistance here, support here, support here. Okay, that internet has come down, guys. So what do you see that US30? Okay, so what we see, as I mentioned yesterday, guys, if you remember, this is what happened, that US30 has formed a reversal pattern on this important level, okay, a triple bottom, and created series of higher low. And then what we have seen, that the price has broken to the upside, corrected. Now it is in another bullish move. Okay, so what I'm expecting for US30 is to continue to go up, but the best trade will be for me US30 is this current candle to come back down, which is highly likely to happen, to close as a doji here, like that, narrow doji. And from that level, sorry guys, had to respond an emergency text, I'm sorry about it. Okay, so let's look at US30. What we see, that I think US30 is likely to come back down to this level, which is a very important level, and highly likely that it will form a doji. If it does that, then from breaking of this doji above this 20 EMA on the 4-hour could be a very good place for potential bullish setup. So if I zone out this level, okay, what I see, that if I go to this is the daily chart, and You can see this is the support here. Okay, so which is a very crucially important zone. This is the 20 EMA on the 4-hour. What I think, the price is highly likely to come back down to test this level and then to continue to go up. So this is what I'm expecting on US30 to come back down to give us a potential bullish setup. So all those basically is going in the same direction. Aussie dollar, US30, even the gold. Okay, so what we can expect on gold? Let's see, 2 minutes remaining on news. Let's keep the pair shortlisted, guys. Okay, as I mentioned, we see that the price started to spike. Look at USD, CHF, dollar yen. Let's keep them shortlisted and then see what happened. We see AUD, USD, dollar yen is dropping. So in the same way, gold. So if I look at this one here on the calendar, let's keep eye on gold. What I'm expecting gold to give us some let's say if it is coming back down to 1793 level, could be a very good place for bullish setup. Okay, guys. Looking at AUD USD. Oh, there is a big bounce happen, as I mentioned. A big jump due to the news. Let's see. But don't jump on a trade, guys. Just be patient. So you can see that news is coming on. Yeah, so the news is released. This is the reason it's big positive for dollar. Suddenly dollar got very strong, and that might give us potential setup for bullish. If I look at the weekly and gold daily, you see that on the daily we see price is almost coming to the daily support. Okay, guys, let's draw this level of support on gold daily. Now if I look at the 4-hour, so we see that very positive news for USD, and suddenly it got stronger. As I said, we could open position, but the only thing is that during the news is very unpredictable. But let's say if gold candle is closing like that as a doji on the 4-hour, we look at the weekly, then yeah, we might open short-term position based on how the candle closed. It will depend on how the candle is closing. So let's look at euro dollar. Yeah, as I mentioned, euro dollar has done that big drop. On Gbpusd also, dollar CAD has gone up. See, they're very volatile. I could open a buy position, but so that you guys also stay disciplined. That's why I'm not doing it during the news, as you know that it's very unpredictable. Because on my trade there will be hundreds of trade will be open together. So let's see what happen, and then we'll jump on trade if we find one, the good one. So let's say if gold closes like this little bit of green on it, okay, it will be a good candle for short-term bull, okay. But if it closes full body here, that may not be a good one for buying. Now dollar yen has, as you can see with the dollar yen also, it has penetrated this level, probably will create a triple doji. Looking at US30 the same way, it created this smooth trend line on the 4-hour. So Aussie yen we see some spike, but that's fine. But I would say that Aussie yen is still bearish to me. So you're looking at euro dollar. Let's keep eye only on gold, and then we'll jump onto the euro dollar as well. So you see 1796 now. Okay, even if gold close like that, we can target some peep on gold as soon as the candle closes. Okay guys, hopefully that you are enjoying. Guys, give a big thumbs up please everyone. I'll stop for 2 seconds so that everyone can give a big thumbs up. It will really help the channel, and also you're helping Forex Trading Wizard Academy. Press that, and then I'll jump on the then you'll see it will really help. Give a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out any of the content that we are releasing. In the meantime guys, I'll just take a half a minute break and coming back to you guys. Stay with me, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'm back. Okay, so looking at gold price, this current candle closing in 21 minutes, it will really make a big difference how this is closing. Now from the news, what we have seen that so far the result is supporting dollar strength, and that is why we have seen this big drop happen. But I don't think that it will make any long-term trend change, because it's just some data, you know, that if you closely look at the news, then you'll see what it is. Change in price of finished goods. So basically this news is a high impact, but not that much of major trend changing news. Normally the major trend changing news is the one that interest rate change or major policy change. So this kind of news basically will give a short-term spike, and then you can have again going back to the where it has started. Okay, we see that NZUSD forming. Let's look at Aussie. Okay, AUD USD, guys, as I mentioned, that exactly is forming the same way we expected. So I think that we might see a shooting star here. And because if you look at the weekly price action on AUD USD, we see that if you look at the monthly, which is bullish, weekly, which is bullish, daily, which is also bullish, on the intraday 4 hour, you see the price has crossed this 20 MA, tested this. So this is in fact a very important level on AUD USD. If you look at, this is the previous order block. If we turn on our TF indicator, the candle is still not closed, so we will not see anything here yet. But what we could see, if the candle closes as a bullish, then because this is a previous order block here, as you can see, resistance here, support here, resistance here, which is turning support, and we can expect a big bullish move from here, as this is an order block and this is the previous resistance, previous turning support here. So based on how the candle close, we will find an entry on Aussie dollar. If I look at the gold in the same way, but for me I need to see, because it's weekend, and if I open a trade in this live session, then I'll be expecting this trade to close before weekend close. So looking at all the USD pairs, looking, as you can see, bullish price action. Looking at Aussie Yen, yeah, we have seen. So Aussie Yen, what it did, it has completed this head and shoulder formation here, Okay, and from here we can expect rejection to the downside Aussie Yen. Okay, so we see the dollar yen forming a very strong bearish price action. As you can see, this one also has created a false breakout to the upside, back to back two bearish candle with a multiple liquidity grab, series of lower high in this resistance level, giving us a very nice looking bearish price action. Now let me look at the daily. Yeah, that's a very strong bearish price action. If I look at weekly, same way, monthly. Yeah. Okay, this is what I expected. As I mentioned, AUD to come back here and to form as a shooting star or doji. And the same way gold. Yeah, so we see that bullish move on all of them. Okay, euro dollar also showing a very now. So this is a big liquidity grab now, as you can see, even in euro dollar. Aussie dollar. Okay guys, so you see Gbpusd also has formed a very long bullish candle. Now this one on Gbpusd, also all those candle that is forming this time is on an important order block, so this could lead the price to go up a little bit aggressively, highly likely, because they are forming in an important order block. Okay guys, let me look at the chart. Yeah, no problems. Nasdaq new PPI news. Yeah, so it's a good day, no problems. Euro dollar, absolutely. Nasdaq, yeah, sure. What direction will Euro USD go in? Absolutely no problems. Nasdaq please, silver please, Usdjpy, coach gold please. Now no problems. Euro USD just had a massive drop. Yeah, just liquidity grab. God bless you. No problems in euro. Do we manage? And Aussie Yen was taken out of my. Yeah, that's fine. That happens in trading. That's completely fine. USD CAD, please. Okay, dollar CAD. Let me look at dollar CAD. What do you see? The dollar CAD. If I look at the daily, you see the dollar now comparatively getting weaker, but what we see, the dollar CAD has gone up to a very important level, and from there we have seen a bounce. What I think, as I mentioned earlier, when you see that dollar is weaker, CAD is weaker because of the oil price drop, so they normally move in a sideways. So with that in mind, dollar CAD might move in a sideways, let's see, or it might stay a little bit of bullish. Okay, now I see the dollar CAD is this is the pair that sometimes, as I mentioned, doesn't follow the other pairs. Like you see that euro dollar, Aussie dollar, they're normally following a pattern of bullish trend, but USD CAD, due to the weakening in CAD, you can see that USD CAD is this pattern now showing a little bit of bullish, but it might move in a sideways. Highly likely the dollar CAD will move in a sideways. So last 5 minutes could be very important on oil, on gold. As I mentioned, it's coming back down. Okay, so if this one is closing as a doji in this 5 minutes time frame, we might see a spike down here on gold around 1792 level. Let's see. See, there is a daily on gold. I'm looking more because gold looks strongly bullish. If you look at the daily gap opening here, you can see that this gap, in fact, a very important PowerPoint, because when you see this kind of strong bullish engulfer followed by a doji, it's a continuation pattern and the price in a very important level, so which is in fact very important previous support zone, which is turning resistance. Okay, let's go back to 5 minutes just to see. I think that now we'll have a drop and candle close will be somewhere here probably, and then if that's the case, then we might find a position to open. But if in case it's pushing to the upside, we'll see what happens. So even going to the 5 minutes on gold to see. Okay, so you see that this is the candle close on gold. If I look at all the dollar pairs, this is the Aussie dollar, GBP USD, it looks like there is forming a bullish candle on gold. If I look at the daily, let me look at the Aussie dollar. Okay, dollar yen. So you could find a very good trade on any one of them. Let me look at again Aussie dollar. Okay, so it's very crucial. We have seen that, guys, in this session so far. So let's jump onto all the pairs to see which one is done what. So Aussie Yen, let's look at all the pairs. This is a little bit of now the news is came. If we look at the result on news, is basically dollar is getting stronger, and as a result we have seen a drop. Now because it has given a strength in dollar and long-term dollar is bullish, pardon me, bearish, so there is a little bit of now backward movement. The news next coming at 2 a.m. will give a clear direction. The reason is, if you look at, first of all, let's go to the DXY, then actually you know exactly what's gonna happen. Now DXY, okay, we see the DXY long-term bearish, right? Now due to the strengthening of dollar with this green green or positive news, what we see that DXY has gone a little bit of bullish now. So this movement on DXY is against the trend. Okay, this is against the trend, and because it's against the trend, okay, what highly likely DXY is likely to do is, after going up further, then we could see that coming back down after the second news. So let's look at gold. How did, yeah, that's what we saw, that with that gold close with this bullish candle. If I got the 1 hour chart, it's a complete doji on the 1 hour time frame. The directional bias is still bullish, but the price will come some part of this zone on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, it should come back again to this level, at least 1793 in this 1 hour 20 EMA. That should be dying from here. Okay, let me know the chat, guys, what you are up to, then I'll go back there. Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good compliment. Also, you guys came here to help the channel. Thank you very much for giving a big thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Can we enter AUD USD? Looks like the market a little bit of unpredictable. That's what normally I do. The reason is, you can see dollar is weaker. If the news came in favor of dollar, could be now you see that dollar is weaker. Now suddenly the news came in favor to dollar. So for the short term, let's see what happened. We will be still watching. Okay. Gbpusd. Hi there. Yes, I think so. I'm expecting at least gold to go up. Look, when especially you see that in my trade in the beginning of the weekend, first session is my favorite, and you have seen back to back couple of weeks result that I have shown. First session of the week is always very predictable, and now the last session on Friday is also predictable. And first session and last session that I trade is basically very short term, because when I open trade now, I want to close it before we can close, because over the weekend something happened and then the prices start to reverse. First session also like that. You see most of the time Monday when the price opens, market opens, we see that sudden drop or rise, and then sometimes the price reverse. So that sudden movement can give us always a good trade. So gold, you can see this candle has closed, which is bullish, but now the question is, it has created a long wick at the top, which is the news could play a role for this one for further drop. Let's see. Thank you, no problems. So USD, absolutely. Yeah, let's see. I that's what I'm waiting for the next news, because it's very soon now. Opening a trade at the moment could be little bit of risky, especially because the next news could be a very a market move, like changing the game. But you see that this current candle having another news, right? So the last session candle will be news free. So this one, the previous one had this core PPI and PPI. The next one is coming with preliminary consumer sentiment, and finally the last session candle could be very game changing. Now dollar yen, going to the dollar yen, this is bearish candle strongly, but what I think that during the news we might see another spike to the upside to test this 20M on the 4-hour and then to continue to drop. Going back to gold again. See this this current candle on gold is difficult to buy. The reason is, let me show you something here. You can see that this is the doji that has formed this the first breakout in the previously. This is the one that is connection between this liquidity zone and this level, and we have seen the price exactly from that level as a bounce. So in the next session we might see some movement to the downside until the news, and with that news I think we should see some again momentum. But the way the price action is formed is still not in my comfort zone. I'm just waiting. That's why normally I need to see in a very important area of value. So looking at US30, okay, for Aussie Yen, as you know that we are running a trade. So for me, I think Aussie Yen now has formed a price action. For me, it's bearish. So you can see that though it looks like a bullish candle here on Aussie Yen, but I think that slowly it will come down, because if you look at the higher time frame, let's say on the daily, what do you see that on the daily perspective, Aussie Yen is in fact bearish. You can see there is a long-term consolidation here, creating series of lower high. Okay, very long-term consolidation. After this kind of consolidation you can expect a very big move. Okay, so daily price action. So even if today's candle closes here exactly that way, which is a high probability bearish setup, and that's why we'll keep this trade running until weekend, and that's why we had a little bit of wider stop loss. But I think if anyone wants to copy that trade in demo account, that's still on the where we have started. So this is the trade that exactly where you have entered this trade, Aussie Yen. Let me give you a full analysis. Looking at the monthly, what I see that this is the Aussie Yen has changed its trend from uptrend to the downtrend. As you can see, there is a long wick here, liquidity gap on Aussie Yen, and then after the previous monthly bearish candle, this month we have seen a sudden breakdown. Looking at the weekly perspective, we see that Aussie Yen has tested this previous neckline, the previous support, turning resistance, and then rejected. So daily, if you closely look at it, you see that daily there is a false breakout here below this dynamic support, dynamic resistance, and from that zone we see that the price is creating nice looking bearish pattern. So finally we should see Aussie Yen is melting down, creating series of lower high and lower low. Okay, AUD USD, as I mentioned, the dollar get a little bit of stronger due to the news short term, and the weekend is coming. See some drop. So this is the weekly candle on AUD USD, right? What I think that AUD USD is likely to close like that somewhere here on the weekly, and then the next one after coming down to continue to rise. If I look at the 4 hour on AUD USD, we see a bullish candle, but this bullish move is not strong enough. As you can see, this candle is not a full body. We might see after coming back down further again bullish move. Yeah, no problems. Gbpusd is reversing. I have bought your USD into this and it's going downwards. What to do? No problems. Taken one. Yeah, thank you for your analysis. No problems. Thank you with the wonderful analysis, coach. You are wonderful too, Hamish. Thank you very much for your appreciation. Got the impulse sell gold PPI. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you very much for all of your support. So let me look at GJ. Okay. Looking at GJ, what I see that this is the daily chart, weekly. So for me, I think GJ next week might be bullish. Like from now on, we could see some bullish move on GJ. And what I think that GBP/JPY might break this resistance on the weekly opening even and could continue to rise. Now looking at the monthly, we see that already the price has a rejection. This is a long-term bull. So all time frame on GBP/JPY is bullish. As you can see from here, the price was creating series of higher low, so which is a very strongly bullish. What I think that the price likely to go at least certain level in the zone and then from here to reject. And now looking at the weekly, we see that this instrument is in fact it was in a sideways, but it's a long-term bullish market. As you can see, the price was creating series of higher low, and also previous week after this kind of bearish move, the price instead of coming down, it has gone up, means that bulls preparing for it. Looking at the daily, which is in fact long-term strongly bullish. If I look at the 4 hour, we see a bullish engulfer has been formed, and yeah, the GBP/JPY is bullish. Okay. Check euro dollar. I'm gonna look at it. Okay guys, so euro dollar, we see that a red candle with a long wick at the bottom is formed, euro dollar. If I look at daily, which is to me is still bullish. Looking at the monthly, weekly, daily. Okay, now we need to wait for the next news to see what's happening on. Now as you can see, this is euro dollar long-term bullish market. I will only think of bullish price or bullish trade until I see a very strong reversal. Now looking at the intraday perspective, on the 4 hour, we see that euro dollar has come to this level, and this is in fact very important level of support. Okay, so what I think that now euro dollar is likely to do, guys, firstly, you see there is a double top, okay, on euro dollar. Now before starting of this session, this is what I mentioned. You remember that this previous session has a liquidity gap, means this one is likely to drop, and it did during the news. That's why we didn't open a trade. Now what I think that euro dollar is likely to do is because it failed to create a higher high in this uptrending market. Okay, that's how I see market. I'll tell you, because it failed to create a higher high and it's a long-term bullish market, we might see the price coming back down further on euro dollar to test this level, and then we'll go bullish. So for me, euro dollar for short term, we could see some drop. So what I think now euro dollar is likely to do is, you see there is a double bottom here and then has broken out with the double bottom, and this is a very important neckline. this previous resistance zone, which is turning support here. Okay, now from here we could see very good bullish move, and that move in fact will give this clear trend line confirmation for euro dollar. So you may not find that point exactly all the time, but this is the zone. Okay, so what I think, today and over the weekend, euro dollar highly likely to come back to this level, which is the support zone, resistance zone, turning support. And normally this is what happens when you see an important double bottom or double top. The price normally tests the neckline, this previous resistance, which is turning support, which is an order block, and from there we could see bullish move. So that's how the price will maintain a homogeneity, because there is failing of higher high creation, means the price will break some level to grab liquidity. Why? Because when you see an uptrend, see, this is a very, very important thing, guys. That's how you will know exactly, you know, in what situation to trade and what situation which way to trade. When you see, let's say, an uptrending market creating series of higher high and higher low. Okay, now if you see that this market, let's say, at some point failed to create a higher high, okay, so that means that the trend is under threat, you can say. So when the trend is under threat, then what the price needs is some liquidity to gain a momentum to break this level. So what we need is, in that case, you will see the price break some kind of important level, grab liquidity, and then go again bullish. So with that in mind, what I think, that euro dollar, deleting all of them again, this is 4-hour time frame, we have seen the price fail to create a higher high, so we might see some drop on this one. Now based on where the price is coming and giving us another bullish setup, we'll go long on euro dollar based on where it is from. I'm expecting is to respect this trend line, because as you can see, there is a long wick candle, big draw, rise, and it's the same thing here. We can expect to come back and create another long wick candle, or even break this low and then to go long. Okay, so based on how it is doing, we'll be going long. So with that in mind, guys, guys, based with that in mind, I'm almost at the end of this session. I will be also watching price action for the next news announcement. For the time being, as I mentioned, that looks like that euro dollar little bit of sideways and coming back down, and once we will find, we'll jump on a trade. And also, as you know, that today is weekend, tomorrow is Saturday, I will release weekly forex forecast. And also, guys, don't miss out any of the opportunity. As you know that every weekend, every trading day, first day is very profitable for us, all the time profitable, including first day is always almost 100% profitable. So if you want to join that trade and also learn our strategy, how we are trading these instruments, you can find a link in the description area. You can visit us, join us in Forex Trading Wizard Academy, and trade with us and become an independent profitable trader. I sincerely believe that you guys enjoyed this live session, and also thank you very much for your help, and also subscribing for the channel and also giving a thumbs up. I'll see you next on Sunday as well. We'll run another live session just for preparation. Make sure you give a subscribe so that you are notified. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy the time, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.